Who's the most evil person you've ever met? My neighbor Joanna seemed like the sweetest old lady you could imagine. She'd been living on our street for over 20 years and everyone absolutely adored her. She had this perfect little garden with white picket fences, always baked chocolate chip cookies for new neighbors, and would water everyone's plants when they went on vacation. Kids loved her because she'd give out full-size candy bars on Halloween, not those cheap mini ones. When I moved in 3 years ago, she was the first person to welcome me. She brought over a homemade apple pie and helped me figure out which garbage day was recycling. She even had spare keys to half the houses on the block because people trusted her completely. Then my cat went missing. Mr. Chavez was this orange tabby I'd rescued as a kitten, and he was basically my best friend for 8 years. He was an indoor cat, but somehow got out one Tuesday morning. I was absolutely devastated. I immediately put up flyers on every telephone pole within a 5-mile radius. I posted on Facebook groups, Nextdoor, Craigslist, everywhere. I walked around the neighborhood calling his name until my voice was hoarse. I even offered a $500 reward, which was basically my entire savings account. Joanna was incredible during this time. She'd bring me homemade soup when I was too upset to eat, helped me search through bushes and under porches, and even printed extra flyers on her fancy color printer. She'd sit with me on my porch in the evenings while I waited for him to come home, bringing tissues when I inevitably started crying. "Don't give up hope, honey," she'd say, patting my shoulder. "Cats are survivors. I'm sure he'll find his way back to you." After 3 months of searching, I'd basically given up. Everyone told me to accept that he was probably gone forever. Joanna would still check on me, though, asking if there was any news about Mr. Chavez. One Saturday, I decided to finally clean out my garage. It was full of boxes from my move that I'd never unpacked, old furniture, random junk. I was trying to make space for my car before winter hit. That's when I noticed this horrible smell coming from the back corner, behind a stack of moving boxes I hadn't touched in years. It was this sweet, rotten smell that made my stomach turn. I thought maybe a mouse had died back there. I moved the boxes and found an old chest freezer that came with the house. I'd completely forgotten about it since it was unplugged and hidden. The smell was definitely coming from inside. I opened it and immediately threw up. Inside were 4 cats, frozen solid. I recognized the gray one from down the street that had gone missing last year. There was a black and white one I'd seen on missing posters. And there at the bottom was Mr. Chavez, still wearing his little blue collar with my phone number on it. I called 911 immediately, sobbing and barely able to speak. The police came and took photos, asked a million questions. They said the cats had been poisoned with antifreeze before being frozen. The investigation took 2 weeks. They interviewed everyone on the block, checked security cameras, the whole thing. That's when they found Joanna's garage camera had accidentally recorded her sneaking into my yard multiple times over the past few years. When they confronted her, she confessed immediately. She'd been poisoning neighborhood cats for over 2 years because they kept getting into her garden and using it as a litter box. She'd lure them with food, poison them, then sneak the bodies into people's garages to dispose of later. She'd been using my freezer because she had a key and knew I never went in there. But here's the part that still haunts me. As the police were putting handcuffs on her, she looked directly at me with this cold smile and said, "I was going to tell you eventually, honey. I just wanted to see how long you'd keep crying first." It was actually quite entertaining. The trial was a joke. She got 6 months in jail and community service. The judge said cats were legally considered property, so it wasn't that serious. She served 3 months and was back on the street. I moved away immediately, but I still can't eat chocolate chip cookies without thinking about her sitting in my kitchen, watching me sob about my missing cat while she knew exactly where he was the entire time.